Splendor Duel is a family-weight two-player game with the following description. Discover new twists and strategic opportunities derived from Splendor, the original best-selling game. Acquire cards with impressive powers, take advantage of special privileges, and fight over scarce access to pearls. Splendor Duel is a two-player only standalone game based on Splendor that retains some of the main gameplay mechanisms of that design while being a bit more complex, dynamic, interactive, rich, tense and mean. The mechanisms in this game are contracts, open drafting, racing and set collection. In Splendor Duel, players are drawing up to 3 poker chips from a central market board, and they must be in a consecutive line either orthogonally or diagonally. However, the gold poker chips block these lines and can reduce the number of chips a player can take. Gold poker chips are wild and are collected at the same time as players reserve a card from the card market. Players are collecting these poker chips to spend them on new cards and grow the number of cards they own, which then go towards buying even more expensive cards with more points. Splendor Duel is won by one player owning 20 cards with 20 points on them or 10 crowns on them, or holding cards of the same colour worth a total of 10 points or more. This is quite an enjoyable element of the game, keeping an eye on both yours and your opponent's current in-game scoring position. There are 2 options for free additional actions before drafting poker chips on your turn. These are to either spend a privileged scroll to take 1 gem or pearl of your choice from the market, or to replenish the poker chip board before selecting your 3 chips. These options add a nice tension to the game, knowing a chip that you want may get sniped, and players trying not to help their opponent too much by refilling the chip board at the wrong time. It's definitely worth mentioning here that it can be a mean game with your plans being interrupted in a fun way, forcing players to pivot to another plan. The introduction of privileged scrolls started off slightly clunky, but after a few games they make perfect sense and balance the game beautifully. Players receive these privileged scrolls if an opponent refills the board, takes 2 pearls or 3 identical colours from the chip market board. If players have played the original Splendor, then this captures the feel of the original game, but also brings us a new enjoyable 2-player version with the same engine building of buying cards to buy even better cards. Be mindful that if you did not like the original Splendor, then this most likely won't change your mind, and it is a dual game with players blocking each other's progress at times. The things I like about Splendor Duel are the drafting of the poker chips and working out what I need versus what I can take, and when should I refill the chip market and give my opponent a privileged scroll. Also, the buying of cards and leaning into the one or more of the different scoring methods has been great fun, pipping my opponent to the post in the process. It feels like a closer game as a result. And lastly, buying certain cards gives additional benefits, such as take 1 gem from your opponent or take another turn immediately after this one ends. These cards bought at the right time can really give players a boost. Here at Board Game Picks, we give this an 8.5 out of 10 for being simple to play and a great puzzly fun for 2 players. Thanks for checking out my review of Splendor Duel.